Hello YouTube. It's been a long time since I've made a video, something I find myself saying quite a bit. But things have been going pretty interestingly for the past couple days, so I decided I'd fire up the old camera and make another YouTube video since I haven't made one over a month. So over the past couple days I got a few more interesting things I'd like to run over really quick. Firstly, yesterday my networking teacher in school gave me this server. I don't know the specific model of it. It's in the MIG, it doesn't say on the front. Bezels here, it also doesn't say it there, but see, it says something underneath. But it is a pretty good server because my school is changing buildings in about a month, and they're getting rid of most of the stuff they don't need. Not a whole lot of stuff that I'd really like so much, except for the server and stuff, but you know, some stuff that's worth taking at the very least. This thing is heavy. God. There's the documentation on it. That's really all. That's really all it says, though. It doesn't say anything more than that. But on Friday, today is Saturday, a friend of mine in school helped carry it out. It was kind of weird because there were like 100 or 200 kids walking down the hallway, and there I am, someone else lugging this thing down the hallway. It was weird. It was funny actually, but anyway. So, basic specs on this thing, it's got a 1.4 gigahertz Intel Pentium 3 CPU. I think that's the best CPU it can handle. Originally, when I looked at it, I found that, the second CPU has no heatsink on it. But I quickly figured out, after looking at the documentation on this thing, that that is not a CPU. That's like a placeholder for when you don't have a CPU in the slot, because you can't simply just rip a CPU out and fire it up. Now, it originally only had these 4 memory chips. I think that's 4 1-gig chips of Sync 133 megahertz memory. I put 2 512 chips in it, so I guess now it's got 5 gigs of memory. Had a bunch of hard drives in. I'll explain that in a little bit. It's got a CD drive, floppy drive, and a 2-plug power supply. Now, before I talk too much more about this thing, though, I'm going to mention some other stuff I got just to, you know, just as an introduction a bit to this video, even though I'm 2.5 minutes in already. But this is a computer I was setting up a long time ago. Still haven't finished it because I haven't been doing a whole lot of computer work before today. Before today, I haven't really done any computer work. So, yeah. This is a laptop I actually got last week. It's an Acer Aspire 5000. Unfortunately, though, you know, the screen and everything is in good condition. A bunch of the keys are missing. If you look on the bottom, damn it, you'll find that the bottom casing for the CPU parts and stuff is missing. Has no memory, though. It takes DDR2, I think. No hard drive, and bits of it are ripped up, like this thing right here is all kind of torn up, and there's a lot of cracks and stuff on the side. And I don't even know if it works yet, but if it does, it really doesn't matter, because there's no way in heck I'm selling this thing as a complete piece, you know, complete working and setup. So if you sell it, I'm probably just going to sell it for parts. You just pull the motherboard out of it and see if that works, I don't know. Next up. Now here's an interesting story. Recently we've run out of pellets to warm this place with. Well, we're almost completely out. We have less than a bag left, which is, you know, practically nothing. So I've been using the wood stove to heat it in here, and it is kind of cold in here, so not too bad though. Anyway, so my dad recalled how my neighbors have a pellet stove that broke a couple years back. So he asked them if they had any pellets left over that they'd be willing to sell to us. Although they didn't. And none of the stores nearby seem to have any pellets, since I guess they're in very high demand. They've been selling out. But when we went to ask the neighbors for the pellets, they said, "Oh, we don't have any pellets, but I got a few free computers for you." So that was nice. So there's 2 laptops, and there was a desktop. It was an old desktop, probably from the late 90s. It had a Pentium 2, and it was very interesting. I already scrapped it, but this was the CPU. It was a slot-style CPU with an adapter for one of these CPUs, which I find to be very interesting. I've seen it before, but it's not something that's all that common. But I believe it had a Pentium 2. Yeah, something like that. Let me see. I had a Celeron 1.6 667 megahertz, and a couple of sync RAM chips. Actually, a 40 gig IDE hard drive I just wiped, although it is kind of noisy. Not in a bad way, just kind of a dull whine kind of noise that some hard drives have. Not any clicking or beeping or anything. And a few CD drives and stuff, so I already scrapped that. She also gave me a Dell Vostra 1000, and it seems to work pretty much fine. I have a power supply for it that I actually bought for another laptop of mine I'm going to mention later. I only have one of the power supplies because I have two laptops that need a 19.5 volt and only one charger. So if I'm going to sell this thing as a whole, I should probably buy another charger for it. But I hit the power button, and notice that the screen is very red when it first starts up. See, it's very red. Oops, I missed it. There we go. But as it stays on, the screen gets less and less red. I don't know if you can notice that, but it's barely red anymore right now. The redness is almost completely gone. Whereas when I started up, it was crazy. I don't really know what's up with that. But it's got a gigabyte of DDR2 memory, an AMD Sempron processor, 3600 plus. I think that's around 2 point something gigahertz. DVD-ROM drive. It's also CD writable. It also has a hard drive in, although I don't know the speed of it. That's a model number. I'm too lazy to look it up. 2080BH. Might be an 80 gig. Pretty sure it's SATA, but I think it was making some clicking noises before, so I'm gonna have to test it out and see if it works. But yeah, it has a code for Windows Vista on the bottom. Although I'm not really sure if I should load Vista or XP on my machines, because Vista sucks, I know. We all know that. All us geeks know that Vista is an abomination. Okay, but, however, there's a rabbit out there. It's funny. I saw a wolf running across the lawn today. Oh, it's a big rabbit. Anyway, enough of the distractions. Although XP is better, support is ending for it in about a month, so they're not going to have any new security updates coming out, and that might be an issue. Or I could load Vista on some of these machines that have codes for them at least, and have better security, but on the downside it's Vista, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. But I'm going to really have to fix that screen issue, either that or just sell it and make sure I mention it. The other laptop I got was this thing right here. It's a tiny little thing, it's an HP. Apologize for bad lighting, I don't have a desk lamp over here that I can turn on. But it's a little netbook. It's an HP Mini 201-1010NR. It's got an Intel Atom in it. I don't quite know the speed of it though. I think a gigabyte of DDR2 memory. Not sure what hard drive. I can go ahead and start it up for you. And my neighbor gave me it with the charger, which is very nice. Now, it says it has Windows 7 Starter on it, but yeah, I'm not really so sure about that. This is, what's it called, HP Quick Web or something. It pretty much is a crappy operating system that sits under Windows 7. But this thing has Windows 7 Home Premium on it, but I'm going to try to extract the code from it, although I'm not going to actually go into the operating system, because I don't want to, you know, be digging around other people's stuff. I need to get the code off this one. What I might do is I might pull open the bottom of it and pull the hard drive out and plug it into another computer of mine that's running an operating system. Any computer really works. And download a program called what the hell is it called? It's by a company named Magical Jelly Bean. Oh, it's called Key Finder. I can pull the key off the hard drive if I load the Hive properly. Get the code on the hard drive, I can reload, wipe the hard drive of course, reload Windows 7 Home Premium, and sell it, because it doesn't have a code attached to the bottom or anything. So yeah, I don't really want to reinstall the operating system and then realize that I have absolutely no code. That wouldn't be good. But yeah, anyway. So that's that. This thing's worth about $100. I looked it up online. Not too bad. Let me see, I'm trying to think. I think I got... Yes, I did get some other things. I have another laptop, although it's not out here right now, so I should mention that after I'm done out here. This is a motherboard my networking teacher also gave me. It's to an old laptop of some sort. The CPU is an AMD Athlon 64X2. I think it's a 2 GHz or something. It's from 2007. There's the model numbers and stuff. I'm really not sure what exact speed it is, but I looked up this motherboard online and it's worth essentially nothing. Even though, you know, it supports dual cores and all that stuff and takes DDR2 memory, it's SATA and everything. It's worth essentially nothing. I don't think the CPU is worth anything either. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scrap this then, because if it's not worth anything to sell, no point in keeping it. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to mention, except for this MacBook over here. I think I might have mentioned this in my last video. My business teacher from school gave this to me. I think it's a 2006 model. It has mixed colors in it though, so top's black, bottom's white. Haven't even tested it out yet. He said that it was having problems of some sort, and that it doesn't work properly. I don't know what I'm going to do with it though, but whatever. Also, this other stuff is still sitting here, like that laptop and all that crap, but I haven't really got around to working with it yet, because my trickle of stuff that I've been getting is so slow that I forget that I have stuff, because I don't get hundreds of dollars worth of stuff in the same day anymore. You know, like some of these machines are worth. These machines, if I were to liquidate all of their value right now, I'd get a few $100 out of all of these, and got some pretty good stuff sitting here, but I just forget about it because, you know, like, get so few things anymore that it's, you know, I don't really spend much time out here anymore because I'm still not really getting much of anything. Anyway, I'm gonna power this server up, and when it starts up I can talk about it, except I don't have it plugged in, so that might be an issue. But it has 8 hard drive slots, and when actually this thing's very loud, but yeah, when I started it up, well, when I didn't start it up, I was looking at it kind of actually still when I was in class, because I was looking at it in my networking class. These bays were all full. Actually, 4 of these are just fillers, or just empty bays, but I thought there were hard drives in there, so I pulled one of the hard drives, and it's a 15,000 RPM hard drive, and it happened to be like 7.8 gigabyte or something. I looked up online, and I found out some of them sell for like $40. I'm like, wow. You know, if there's actually 10 hard drives in here, and each of them are worth $40, that's a lot of money. But upon further investigation, I realized that 4 of the slots were empty, so there's only 6 hard drives total. One of them was that 15,000 RPM hard drive. The other one, let me see, there were 4 73.4 gigabyte 10,000 RPM hard drives, like some ones I already have, and one 10,000 RPM hard drive that was only like 7 point something gigabytes. So yeah, I'm actually wiping them right now. I put them in my Dell PowerEdge 2600 inside. I can talk about that a little bit. But yeah, I'm wiping them because I might sell them, since in my Dell PowerEdge I already own 5 10,000 RPM 73.4 gig hard drives, so I don't really need 4 more. I'm probably just going to sell them. Oh, I missed F2. It doesn't really even contain any of the information in the BIOS anyway. But I was originally going to use this thing to wipe the hard drives, and I hooked a DVD drive into it, but apparently this thing doesn't support DVD boot for whatever reason, because I just for the life of me could not get anything to boot from the DVD drive, so I hooked up this thing, so I hooked up a CD drive, and it boots up Windows 2000, Windows Server 2000 installation absolutely fine, but I don't know. I wonder if I should use, whoops, wrong keyboard. Yeah, this thing doesn't like USB for some reason, it only likes PS2, so I have a PS2 keyboard. But you can see it says the 1400 MHz CPU. So anyway, here it is started up, doesn't really give you too much info though. If you go to memory information, for example, it gives you information on the DIMM group statuses, because there's 3 groups of 2, I guess. But it doesn't tell you how much memory there is and what speed it's going at or anything like that. If you go to processor settings, yeah, it gives you basic information on that. But one thing that annoys me about this BIOS is that it doesn't have a RAID controller built into it, so I can't go over to the options and turn RAID on or off. I just can't do that since it's all through an external startup thing. I have to hit like Control A or something after it posts. But yeah, the server isn't all that great though. It's from like 2001, and I'm just gonna sell it probably, because I talked to my teacher about it. I said that what I might do is I might sell it for him and give some of the profits back to the class. Well, not to the students, but to him. He said he'd use them for the class, so if I sell this thing for $300, like the hard drives are worth the most money. Actually, I don't think I get $300 out of it. Let's say I make $150 off this thing total. I'll probably give like $75 to him or something. He takes $75 and put it towards, you know, getting some equipment and stuff to teach the class with, I guess. So that's a possibility, certainly. Not much more to be said about it, though. I'm just thinking about all the possibilities of what I can do with this. Because I want to do something with it, but my other server is already better, so I think I'm just going to stick with that thing. But anyway, right now I'm going to go inside and talk about my PowerEdge server, what that's doing, how that's going. So here's my good old PowerEdge 2600. Right now I'm just using it to wipe a bunch of hard drives. I have 4 in it right now. I have 5 different bays for it though. Well, there's 6 bays total. I have 5 caddies, I guess you'd say, for it. But for some reason it was only recognizing 4 of them. I pulled this one out and it still only recognized 4. So I guess that's a sign that either this drive is broken or that for whatever reason it's only recognizing 4 at a time. And I used to have an unactivated copy of Windows Server 2008 on this thing, but I let the activation go. I didn't buy a copy and everything. It's long expired by now, since I set this thing up probably 4 or 5 months ago. So I didn't really care about pulling the hard drives out, because, you know, it doesn't really matter if their RAID array is destroyed if I mix up the order, because I'm just going to have to reload the operating system anyway. But I'm wiping all the hard drives here. We're going for 45 minutes, 30%, so it's probably got, what, you know, 3 hours left. Although this one is much slower than all the rest, as you can see. It's the same size and RPM, but it's a slightly different model number. I don't know why it's going so much slower. I really don't know, but whatever. It's gonna slow all the other ones down. But these are the 4 hard drives I originally had in it. I can't remember if I've wiped them or not already. This is the 5th. Actually, no, never mind. It's a different one. This one is the 5th. No, it isn't. Where? Oh my god. Where's the 5th one? Well, anyway, this is the 15K RPM one that I got out of the other server that I got yesterday. 18 gigabyte. This is an 18 gigabyte 10,000 RPM that I got out of the server yesterday. And I'm waiting to wipe till later. And this is another one of the 73 gigabyte ones I got out of the server yesterday. And actually, this one right here, the slower one, is one of the hard drives I originally got with this thing. But I'm going to have to do a little bit of matching up, because this model number is clearly faster than that one. Look at all these drives. They're all the same. That was Maxtor. This one's Seagate. This one is 307LC. Yeah, 307LC is a slower one, so I'm probably going to sell these ones, since I don't need all these hard drives. I'm probably going to sell these ones and keep the 405LCs. Yeah, I'll look up these specs later in more detail, and that's a Maxtor. And look at their disk transfer rates and everything between the different models, and see if there's something just wrong with this one hard drive, or if it just runs slower if it's meant to, you know? So, yeah, that's that. But what I was originally planning to do with this server was run a some online gaming servers, like a Garry's Mod server online, but my internet still has not been upgraded, which is partially my lack of initiative, a lot of my parents' lack of really wanting to put the time and effort to help me with that, because I'm 17, I'm the kid, I don't really call up AT&T and schedule and pay for installation all by myself. I need my parents to help me out a little bit, but it's been going rather slowly. It's frustrating. I can't get my dad to sit down with me and do it. So I still got 1.2 megabit per second internet, which is nowhere near enough to actually run an online server with any more than a couple players on it. So yeah, it's useless. But once I get better internet, which I'm hoping to from Cox, I'll probably get 25 megabits a second, download and 5 up. Then I'll easily be able to run a server, probably. But to reiterate, this thing's specs, it's got two 3.2 gigahertz Intel Xeons, 8 gigs of DDR ECC memory at 266 megahertz, because that's unfortunately the fastest this thing can handle. Obviously, the hard drives are kind of a bit of a mess right now, but like 750 watt power supply combined. There's 2 of them in there though. Even like a laptop DVD drive. So I don't know. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities with this thing. I'm thinking I'm probably at some point gonna have a server running on this, or I could rent one. I'm thinking about all this stuff. Should I rent one? Because rented servers are dirt cheap, or should I just run this one just for the experience and just for the heck of it? I don't know, but whatever. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that laptop I got and everything else. So here's the laptop I was going to mention. However, I forgot that I already mentioned it in my last video. So yeah, it's nothing new. However, I did load Windows Vista on it. I know it's Vista, it kind of sucks, but I loaded Vista 64-bit on it with a CD my friend gave me, and it's running pretty well. I mean, Vista isn't that bad, I guess. It's actually got a pretty good GPU. It's got an 8600 GT or something, or something like that, which is actually better than the video on this thing. This is my old Asus X83 VB-X2, and the video card in this thing is the GeForce 9300M GS 512 megabyte, and that's an okay card. It's like lower end 9000 series, but this thing's got a mid end 8000 series. Although it's older, because this laptop's actually from 2007. It's older, but the video card's actually better. And this actually supports Core 2 Duos, but I noticed that it gets very hot. The CPU got up to almost around 100 degrees Celsius, which was not good. Not good at all. And my brother actually was working with it. I can't remember what exactly he was doing, but he noticed something amiss, which is that the connector here for what I assume is the GPU, or this is the GPU, I'm not entirely sure. There's 2 screws here, as you can see, and this one's perfectly fine, but it appears that the mount and the motherboard came out here, so that might be a problem. However, when I push my finger down, it's still applied with an amount of tension that's sufficient to the top of this chip here, so I don't really know if it makes any sort of difference if that's missing or not, because it doesn't really seem to affect much of anything, but I should probably mention that when I sell this. But yes, as I was saying, this thing does get very hot. It runs hot. I was actually contemplating taking the 2.53 gigahertz Core 2 Duo out of this Asus and putting it into this thing, because this thing's only got 2 gigahertz, but my fear is that it would run way too hot. Although it's possible that the 2.53 Core 2 Duo has better, I don't know, thermal technology in it, so I don't know, it might produce the same amount or even less heat. I'm not sure, but anyway, so that's that. I was thinking of selling it, but I kind of just stopped working on it. I don't know why. But yeah, there's the old Asus. Playing on selling this thing too. I'm probably just going to sell it without a hard drive in it, just to get rid of it. Or I could pop a hard drive out and load Windows Vista on it, because I don't have a spare code of 7. Even if I did have a spare code of 7, I don't really want to use it. This is a good old Gateway I used to use. Remember, I got this thing around 3 years ago, if not a little bit more. Good old AMD Athlon 64 in it. 128 megabytes of VRAM. remember using this thing to play TF2 in like medium and low settings. But yeah, this thing's gonna go as well. Probably gonna sell it. So that's that. But one more thing I wanted to mention. Actually, two more things. Firstly, I finally sent back my GTX 780 to EVGA yesterday. They say that you're supposed to keep the packaging, so that's what I did. So I still have a nice GTX 780 box to show off that absolutely no one's ever going to see or care about other than myself. But anyway, yeah. But I sent that back, and if all goes well, I'll be getting my refund for that. I probably won't be that happy with the replacement because I might have the same issue, but you know, I don't think the card was really worth that much money. It wasn't really worth $535 to me anyway. So yeah, that's gonna go back, and I'm gonna receive the money from that. Also, one more thing. This is the last thing in this video. Recently, I started monetizing my videos, and if you look at the charts here, I'm actually starting to make a little bit of money off the ads in my videos. And I do apologize for the ads. If you really don't like them, you can download attachments and stuff for whatever web browser you have that block them. But I am making a little bit of money off these ads, and this is some data. Today is March 1st, by the way. The day between February 22nd and the 27th is I've made about $6.20 so far, which isn't a whole lot. But what I did was I submitted the request for monetization on the 22nd, and I approved it on the 25th, right there. But I realized I should probably start monetizing more of my videos. So I monetized more of the videos, and now my earnings are going up to about $2 a day. And once I post this video, I'll probably edge up right around, if not over, $2 a day, which would be nice, certainly. So, you know, I'm making a few bucks a day off this by doing pretty much nothing. But something you have to set up is, you know, a way to actually get the money out of my AdSense account once it's dumped in there, because I don't have it linked to my bank account yet. But anyway, I'll probably be making $2 a day, and it gives me a bit more of an incentive to post videos. You know, if I know that I'm getting at least a little bit of something out of it financially. Although I am making money now, please, all of my beloved viewers, please keep in mind that the main reason I do my videos is so I can learn, and so other people can learn. That's the main reason why I make my videos, you know, to help other people out, and you know, for other people to help me out. Because I've actually learned quite a bit from viewers posting comments in my videos and telling me things, and I hope other people have learned a lot from me. So that's always going to be the main reason why I do the video making. I'm never going to do it just for the money. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll have another video up soon, depending on how things go.